Hello, this is Marcus Lane from Denverslist.com. I am the lead developer of Denverslist.com. And in this video, I'd like to talk about the review process and guidelines. Now, this is just, honestly, it's really just common sense for the most part. I see it as, in order to be accepted on Denverslist.com, what you're going to need to do is really spend time editing and gathering and researching the community information. And we're going to go into this sort of in detail, like in a future video, actually in the next video, as we're going to begin creating one of our communities. But make sure you do spend the time and you do the research, and we can really tell if someone does or not. And I mean, if there are some mistakes, I mean, we're going to. I mean, we're all human, and we'll make sure to edit them for you. But I mean, if it's just absolutely terrible, like where it just seems like it was just copy and pasted, or it just the information didn't look accurate or didn't seem accurate, then it's going to be rejected. Which, as you can see right here, it just rejected means your submission did not meet our expectations. You know, the standards, the guidelines that we have up here. And what that means is you still have the opportunity to resubmit again. You can definitely do that. That is not a problem. You'd be able to resubmit as many times as needed, and we'll help you out on the phone too. If you need help from us, we're definitely there for you, because we really want you to have these communities, to be accepted, so that you do start getting more and more leads directly from Denverslist. I mean, it's a really cool tool. The fact that you can submit these and you're just going to naturally start to receive more and more leads, and the more you submit, the more you're going to receive. So I mean, it's a win-win for everyone. But just keep in mind that if it does not meet the guidelines, then it will be rejected, and you will still have the opportunity to resubmit. Now, in review, whenever you create a community, when you add a community, it's going to go into the review state, state, in which that pretty much means nobody's reviewed it, or we are reviewing it right now. But within that time, pretty much we would encourage you not to make any edits, preferably within about 2 hours after submitting it the first time. Just leaving it as is, so we have the chance to review it, because the last one we want is to accept it with old changes that you make. So we would encourage you to, before you submit your communities, to really thoroughly look over them, or at least within 2 hours to look over them and make sure everything is absolutely final. But within that process, it's just a matter of time. Generally, it's within a couple hours, maybe to even a day, before you have the chance to review your community very thoroughly and accept it. And in the active state, just simply means, just as it stated right there, it's active and live on Denverslist. Meaning, when you submit a community, it will not show up as a community until it is in the active state. And also keep in mind, when you make edits, when it's in the active state, it goes back into the review process. Now, a review process is not as bad as a lot of websites that take days, if not months, for the review process just to be complete. For us, I mean, it generally would take just take less than a day, maybe even a couple hours. So just keep that in mind. If you have to make changes, maybe if it's closing, or if you have to make changes where it's just newly open, maybe it was coming soon, you got to add information, then you would have to go through the review process again. And this is really just to make sure that we're not getting scammers. Maybe nothing is being hacked, because the last thing we want is, the last thing we would ever want is to have information that already been reviewed, but then it gets edited again, and there's somebody that hacked into your account and edits everything and puts some invalid information. We definitely don't want that to be live for our users. So just keep that in mind. I mean, that's pretty much what I wanted to go through in the review process, sort of just to sum that up. And there's a couple of facts here where, you could submit videos. We would advise that you do submit a few images. We would actually encourage you to submit up to 15, if not more, but we choose only 15 at most. And that may, if that sounds overwhelming, then just it doesn't have to be. You definitely don't need to submit that many, but it does help. The more images you can submit, the better. I mean, it really really does help, and we'll do a lot of editing too. I mean, you can just submit the raw images, and we'll actually go into it and optimize them for you. But they'll definitely be completely associated to your account. So that's something to keep in mind. And I think that's really about it. You can access this page just by clicking the help. So I would encourage you to go through this more in detail. And this is being edited right now. We actually have a couple of copywriters who are looking into this and making sure everything is completely up to date. But I hope you enjoyed this fifth installment of the Denverslist Preferred Realtor 101 series, and hope to see you soon in our next video, which we will discuss adding communities. Thank you so much.